What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Konosuba. Guys, we haven't talked about the new EX mission, and Thursday night we were working on a team for this. I don't have it perfected yet, but pretty darn close, and many of you probably will be able to take away from this. Now, the one big takeaway here, okay, this is a little bit different than the things we've done in the past. This breaks away from the meta quite a bit, all right? So it says here, watch out for normal attacks. Attacks will focus on the front line of your party, so you do need someone on the front line that can tank really, really well. And I mean really well. Poison and haze attacks will do extra damage. This is a rare situation where you actually do need ailments on your team. We'll cover that. Beware of bind attacks. Debuffs won't work. That's the biggest thing there at the bottom. Debuffs will not work. If you do anything to your team, you need to buff your team. You need to buff their defenses, buff their attack. If you're debuffing the opponent at any point, you are simply wasting a turn. Now, you know EX mission always comes with a strange caveat, and this is it, okay? Character bonuses. In the last time, the last one where we got these character bonuses, basically you only had to pay so much attention to these, right? We used the magic units, we ignored the physical units, and we got some really good scores out of it. As you can see up here, my score isn't the best. What we're aiming for right now in this particular event, if I go back out here, score-wise, we're really aiming for 2.2. But I'm really close. I'm really, really, really close. Now, to be fair, there are probably much better teams out there, and we can kind of go look at that here in a moment. But I don't want to cheat yet. I want to compare the team that we were able to build and the numbers that I got versus, I mean, basically what's already sitting out there. I don't want to cheat this one. So, let's do a training session, and let's take a look at the team. Because, as you notice, it does say we need darkness. And I generally do avoid using darkness, but in this case, I'm going to have to. Mainly because, remember I said we need a good tank on the front end. This darkness, the Secret Present Darkness, is a good candidate for this. She's got self-healing, says here, for all allies, a moderate recovery for herself. So moderate boost to magic defense for all allies. It's magic defense, it's not physical defense. We really do need physical defense, but that recovery for herself is going to be paramount. And significant boost to magic attack and agility for one ally. One ally. But it's better than nothing, okay? Finally, we actually have a status on her base skill. We don't see that very often. In fact, I can't think of any other units that do this off the top of my head. I'm sure they're out there, but I can't think of any that do. So 103% normal physical damage to one enemy with extremely low accuracy. Moderate boost to your magic defense. Now, once again, it is magic defense, and that's probably to my deficit. But she's really the best darkness that I have for the job. Because they are normal attacks incoming, you know, she's not really at her defensive maximum. So if you have a unit here that actually does, and I don't know if there's one out there, I haven't really studied the darkness units that well. I just don't use darkness very often. This is a rare situation where she's really, really, really integral to your team. So if you have a darkness that actually does all those things, but does, you know, physical defense, or just defense in general, and in the same positions mine does, you're going to be in a little better circumstance, but it's really not the end of the world. And notice she doesn't really have an element, which is weird, but I mean, it is a thing. There are elementless units in the game, okay? Next up is Amy. Now, Amy's all the way down here at the end on this one, but I put Amy in my slot too, mostly because she's going to be a good healer. We're going to get a good bit of healing out of her. She's going to help out Darkness a whole lot, because being the Darkness is at the front of the line, Darkness is going to be the main target. He'll hit a couple other units, but Darkness is going to be our biggest target, and Amy's going to help keep her alive. Plus, with this skill here, I think this is once again magic defense. So 118%? It's really small. Earth magic damage to all enemies, and moderate boost to magic defense. Once again, like I said, it is magic defense. There are better units out there, but she's my most hardy, and she's got a good healing skill, so I'm utilizing her. So that's some of the deficits in my team. If I had some better physical defense, we'd be in a better situation. So hopefully you're able to look at this and take away. Now, I'm using all 4 stars with the exception of her, and you might want to look at some of your 3 stars and start thinking about it. Because as we noted in the last video, 3 stars and even 2 stars sometimes can be really good. In our other team on the regular battle arena, we're using a 2-star as a DPS, and some of the top 1,000 units are using even 1-star units. So, you know, start looking through your teams. If you have not got a really good grasp of how to handle this, this is a great opportunity, okay? Finally, not even finally, further on, Union is one of the units that it does ask you to bring along, and this Union is no mystery to these teams. Light magic damage to 1 enemy, and that is good to have 1 enemy. There is an AoE phase to this, but I'll be honest with you, as you'll see and you get in here, taking more damage is good. So having single target units is going to be a big benefit. I'll explain here as we get in. Light magic damage to 1 enemy and minor boost to magic attack for all allies. So she will help boost magic attack, but I'll be honest with you, you're really looking at defenses more than attack stat. And I'll show you when we do a run here of why I say that. But then in slot 2 is Rin, so I'm using the 3-star Rin. Main reason I'm using her, fire magic damage to 1 enemy, and moderate reduction of their physical attack. Once again, that is a wasted move, but this is the one that really makes the difference here. Fire magic damage to all enemies and minor chance to poison them. When she gets her poison attack off, she's going to hit hard, and it's going to feel great. Unfortunately, I just don't have enough ailment units, but I'm going to go back through my teams and start looking for a few more. She is really my only ailment unit. I don't think Chris has any ailment units. Chris is the final unit on the team, and she actually does bind. I take that back. She does bind. I forgot she does bind. 108% win physical damage to all enemies and minor chance to bind them. But I believe, if I go back here, it's actually haze and poison that make the difference. So unfortunately, I don't have any units that haze. But let's do a run here, and I'm going to try to target the big guy. Now, I could kind of click on him and force the targeting. Our AoE attacks are still going to hit the little ones, and that's kind of a problem with my auto run system, is that they're going to be taken out a little prematurely. This is a rare situation where we actually do want them in the fight longer. The quicker they're taken out, the less our score is going to be. So the longer we can hold out, the better we're going to be. Now, I could do a manual run. I haven't done one yet, just because you guys know my manual runs tend not to be very good at all. That is one, I say detrimental, but it kind of is detrimental thing in my regard. And unfortunately, I did lose Amy. I lost Amy. And that's bad. That means Darkness is in a world of hurt. Darkness is down. Oof. The other thing to consider here, guys, this is a pretty short fight. I think this fight is right at 60 seconds, and there's not a lot of pauses and not a lot of breaks in here. So you don't have a huge amount of time. Now, he is unfortunately going to take us out with a quickness. We lost everybody on this one. So I'm sure the score is going to be pretty bad. But we're going to look at the score down here. Okay? Yeah. So practice score is 1250. We took an unfortunate hit. RNG is a big factor here. But I'm going to replay it too and see if maybe we can rectify that. But if you kind of look at the score, the base score, that's where we do, our damage dealt, time bonus, and all that, that pales in comparison to our bonus score down here, which we have bonus times 2 since we're using all the units. Now, we only got a survival bonus 2.5. If Amy had stayed in the battle, we would have gotten a much better bonus. So let's try this one more time. Damage taken is a factor, as well as the total. Let's see. So total bonus, I believe that's, I'm not sure how they kind of calculate that, but damage taken is a massive massive factor. The more damage you can tank, the better your score is going to be here. So let's run another one, because that felt really low. That felt unnecessarily low, but I think it's honestly because Amy left the fight too early. I think if Amy survives, we're going to be in a better situation here. So let's do one more training session. And as you see, this team's already like gotten a 2.1 mil, and I'm on the cusp of 2.2. So let's kind of see where this goes. I do want to target the main opponent. So it looks like everyone is targeting him. Even when you're auto running, you can't click on him, and it will predominantly target him. But we do need some healing. Thank you, Amy. Keep one color in. There you go. All right, so we're good to go. We got some good healing out there. Darkness is taking a bit of damage, and after this, Darkness is going to need a boost. So we're going to go ahead and... There you go. Thank you, Darkness. She gave herself a little bit, not enough. And she is out of the fight. So that's bad. That is a bad situation. We definitely do want Darkness a little bit longer in the fight. If she can survive to the end, that's going to give us our maximum boost. But now we're just on another kind of bad run. Now, there is something to be said for maybe putting another healer on here. But as you see, like, this team's already pulled out a pretty respectable score. Let's see what we get this time. 1-5. It's just not going to produce for this video. It is just simply not going to produce for this video. Let's do one. Let's run one without me messing with it. Let's just see if I like my manual runs. I'm often the factor that prevents my team from succeeding. I hate to say, but it is quite true. Now, if you're wondering why we're not using magic units, it's simply because, once again, defensively, and I will emphasize defensively, you need to just really be on your A game. So, doesn't matter whether you're using magic, doesn't matter whether you're using physical, it really doesn't hold any bearing to the final marks on the game. If I can survive, if my whole front line here can do their job and survive, we'll be in a absolutely wonderful spot. Alright, so it seems like we're getting more heals now, but unfortunately we took the front lines out a bit earlier than I would like to have. Heal yourself, girl. Amy, I need you to heal, girl. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. I'm going to keep Darkness targeted. I said I wasn't going to mess with it. I'm going to keep Darkness targeted. See if we get slightly more frequent heals out. He seems to be doing a ton of damage, but now our front lines have survived. So we should get some pretty good numbers on this one. Emphasis on should. Emphasis on should. So our whole front line survived. So this is a good example. Now you will notice that our base score was pretty bad, but we got 2 mil here. That is the big difference. So I admittedly was pretty much the factor in our failure. It's hard to wrap your brain around. Don't do attacks. Do defense. And I do want those little the little guys to last a little bit longer, but honestly, you know, there's a massive RNG factor to this. So, but notice here, my total bonus is significantly higher. Significantly higher. And for survival bonus, I got a ×4 because my entire front line survived. That is so incredibly important. Now, here's going to come the part where I'm going to have egg on my face. I have not done this yet. We've had this team since Thursday. It is now Saturday. And I get the feeling that I'm not going to like the answer I'm going to see in here, but I get the feeling we're going to see some 3 stars and whatnot. So let's go in here to... Can we not see other people's teams? Oops, that's main quest. Oh, we can't see the rankings. I keep forgetting we can't see the rankings on this one. So, yeah, you can't really cheat. Can't really cheat on this one, which, you know, I'm not mad about. That's actually kind of nice. I keep forgetting we can't cheat on Battle Arena EX. So, which makes it harder. So there you go, guys. Go build yourselves a really good team. Focus on your defenses. Focus on keeping your front lines alive. That's where your score really comes from. Even though I did kind of screw it up at the beginning, it does show you the big difference in defensive score versus offensive score. So that is the secret to this. If you're having trouble, like I said, really focus on that. I have a little bit of honing left to do on my team to make sure things, happen the way they need to happen. I probably have a couple 3 stars I'm undervaluing and have to work on. But for now, that is going to be this video. Good luck to you. Let me know what kind of scores you guys are getting. And if you have any recommendations for my team, also let me know. It's the best way we can all learn is through those comments. So like, comment, share. Catch y'all on the next one.